I am Wajahat Ali and I am from University of Oxford, and today I will be presenting on a Silicon PM receiver that is compatible with the low power exempt 405 nanometer transmitter. So as explained in the previous presentation, we have faced a lot of rise in the data traffic in the last decade, especially due to smartphones and multimedia. And currently RF is coping with such high data traffic, but it is also facing congestion issues. VLC, because of its better capacity, can complement RF communications. In VLC technology and in VLC receivers, we normally consider and use APDs because of its better gain, but they also introduce excess noise. Today in my talk, I will highlight silicon PMs, which are a promising new type of photodetectors. They can count photons. They have larger APDs larger area as compared to APDs, and they provide comparable bandwidth as compared to APDs. And because of the larger areas and photon counting mechanism, silicon PMs are much more sensitive than APDs. It means they operate in much lower irradiance as compared to APDs at any particular data rate. So I will initially introduce the silicon PM. I will talk about the BER of silicon PM in ideal condition as well as in ambient light conditions. I will talk about silicon PM selection and wavelength selection. I will then explain the data transmission experiment using silicon PM. I will also talk about how we have selected the iSafe transmitter and the coverage which can be provided by using iSafe transmitter, and then finally the conclusions. So silicon PMs are arrays of single photon avalanche photodiodes, normally referred to as SPADs. SPADs are APDs which are operated above their which, when operated above their breakdown voltage, can detect individual photons. These silicon PMs are mostly used in various applications, especially in medical physics for use in PET detectors mostly. However, because of their better sensitivity and excellent bandwidth, they can be used also in optical wireless communication receivers. So I will explain the BER of silicon PM in ideal condition by, if you can see the expression, the first expression, where NS stands for number of photons per bit. And if you calculate NS for the BER of 1 exponent minus 3, it will give us approximately 3 photons per bit. These three average number of photons per bit, which is 3, is usually referred to as quantum limit for an ideal detector or ideal silicon PM. However, in practical scenarios, silicon PM also suffers from ambient light, which we refer to as background light or background counts. Therefore, the expression above is modified and the background counts information is also added. Using this expression, we have plotted the average number of photons per bit as a function of number of background counts per bit. If you see this graph at a very low amount of background count, which we see as exponent minus 4, the silicon PM can operate as a quantum limit receiver and giving us needing just 3 photons per bit. Now, if the background counts per bit is increased, of course, the number of photons per bit are also get high. But there is also the stable case. If you see in the region of exponent minus 2, as the background counts are increasing, the average number of photons are stable and not increasing at a very high pace. So it means that if we operate our silicon PM in this region, where number of photons per bit are not increasing as highly as the number of background counts, we can use silicon PM as a very sensitive receiver. So we select silicon PM based on the area, the output pulse width, and maximum count rate. Silicon PMs are very sensitive to light. If you see the graph, we have plotted the LED spectrum, which is in blue, and the photon detection efficiency of the silicon PM. Now, the silicon PM we are using provides excellent photon detection efficiency at around 400 nanometer. Therefore, we have selected our transmitter wavelength as 405 nanometer so that we can remove all the ambient light and benefit from the PDE of the silicon PM. And this ambient light or the background light of the warm LED spectrum can be removed by using commercial available filters. So for our experiment, we have selected silicon PM with an area of 9.4 millimeter square and also with an output pulse width of 1.5 nanosecond. This output pulse width of silicon PM basically determines how fast it is. This silicon PM, the one we use approximately provides 200 megahertz of bandwidth. So we have the experiment setup shows that we have used 405 nanometer laser, and then we have certain optics after that. Please don't be confused with this polarizer. This polarizer is only used to control the amount of light that we want to transmit through the diffuser. At the receiver, we have silicon PM, above which we have the optical filter, which removes all of the ambient light, which we are providing using 500 lux from the warm LED light. We have used the modulation scheme of on-off keying and equalization of DFE. And we achieved, using this setup, we achieved 600 megabit per second to 1.8 gigabit per second at a BER of exponent -3. We use AWG for generating all the signals and real-time oscilloscope to receive the signal and then did the post-processing. So in the figure of data rate as a function of irradiance, you can see that this type of receiver needs only approximately 1.3 to 1.4 milliwatt per meter square irradiance to achieve 1 gigabit per second data rates. So why this is important? Because for VLC, we need a transmitter which should be eye safe and should be categorized as eye safe according to broadband light sources or laser safety standards. So the aim was to use small, low power eye safe LED as a transmitter. And for eye safety calculation, we refer to photobiological safety of lamps and lamp system. These standards explain risk groups according to allowable exposure time. This exposure time is defined as how much our light is being exposed to amount of light for a certain duration of time. The higher the time that eye is exposed to, the more will be the risk. So for these higher durations of time, the transmitted power is kept low so that it not pose any threat to the eye. And this high duration of time, which is approximately 10,000 seconds, is called as exempt group or risk group 0. So we consider this group because this do not pose a retinal blue light hazard. And using this exposure limit of RGG 0 and half angle divergence of considering half angle divergence of source as 45 degrees, we calculated approximately 65.8 milliwatt transmitted power, a completely eye safe transmitted power for a wavelength of 405 nanometer. So this power is so low because for eye safety standards, if you see a figure on the right-hand side, there will be more risk if we go towards blue light or violet light or then ultraviolet. But as the color is changed to red or green, the hazard becomes low. Therefore, the cool white or neutral white or warm light has a lower hazard as compared to the blue light sources. So using the eye safe transmitted power of 65.8 milliwatt, we have calculated the coverage. So the figure shows the milliwatt, the irradiance in milliwatt per meter square as a function of horizontal coverage for different transmitter and receiver distances of 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3 meters. The dotted line shows the data rates of 1 gigabit, 900 megabit, and 600 megabit per second at the respective irradiance values that I shown before. So if we consider a normal office environment where a receiver and transmitter could be placed at 3 meters of distance, and vertical distance of 3 meters and horizontal, the worst case scenario when the receiver is also at the horizontal distance of 3 meters. At this distance, we can get 1.23 milliwatt per meter square of irradiance. And at this irradiance, we can get the data rate of 900 megabit per second. And because of this data rate, we can say that using a RG0 transmitter, which is completely eye safe, we can achieve in an office environment 900 megabit per second that can, and with a coverage of approximately 28 meters square. So to conclude, we have discussed that silicon PM can achieve quantum limit performance and have a larger area than other photodetectors with a comparable bandwidth. We use commercially available silicon PM, which is 3 by 3 millimeter, and a 4 or 5 nanometer laser diode, and we achieve data rates of 600 to 1.8 gigabit per second. We also use the eye safety standard of 62471 for broadband sources, and we show that we have used 409 nanometer transmitter, which can emit 65.8 milliwatt with the beam divergence of 45 degree, and we consider it as a eye safe transmitter. And using this transmitter, we show that we can achieve 900 megabit per second with a coverage area of 28 meter square in a typical office installation. Thank you.